And today's question is, there's a halakha that says a person that is has an interruption in the middle of the Amida, for whatever reason, what is considered an interruption that breaks the whole consistency of your Amida, that requires you to go back and start from the beginning, and what is considered an interruption that is not too invasive, and then you could just keep going. And this is also very pertinent to what's happening now in Israel, because of course some people could be in the middle of the Amida and they have to mobilize themselves, they have to move, they have to go into a safe room, into a miklat, and so on and so forth. And so what is considered an Amida or not? So the idea is like this. Of course, speaking in the middle of the Amida, we're not allowed to at all. Engaging in hefsek, which is an interruption that's not speech, is also an issue. For example, if I move from where I am in the Amida somewhere else, asur, you're not allowed to move somewhere else. However, if there's a situation, for example, there's a siren, you have to go out of the room, somebody has an issue, maybe an elderly person is stumbling, falling in a place of a need, a child is in a situation stuck in him, you have to go out, and so you move, you have to go out and do something. If you can come back to where you were, you're standing over here, you're in your Amida, you move, you come back in a time that's shorter than it took a person, or takes a person to say the whole Amida, then you come back to where you were and you finish the Amida. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm in Refaenu. I'm in the Amida in Refaenu, I hear a siren. I step out of the room. If I come back to the room in less than, how long does it take to say the Amida? Normally 4 or 5 minutes. Let's say 4 minutes. If I come back in less than 4 minutes, then I go back. I said Refaenu. Now the next one is Baruch Aleinu. So I just keep on saying Baruch Aleinu. Of course, I didn't speak. I didn't make those types of interruptions. I go back to where I was and I keep on going. But if I stop the Amida for so long, for more than 4 minutes, then I lost my Amida. I have to come back and I have to start from the beginning, because I'm not there anymore. I'm somewhere else. And so I'm not in the middle of the Amida. I lost the whole thing and I have to start from the beginning. And that's called hefsek. And by the way, there are some poskim that would say that, let's say you're in your home. You didn't go pray in the synagogue. You're in your home. There's a baby crying, something like that. Not a siren. Something that's maybe happens more often. And something like that goes on. You step aside from your Amida. Of course, it's not a good habit, but if it's a situation, you're stuck, it's an emergency, and the same thing would apply. And you step aside, you do that without talking, without those types of interruptions. If it's less than, let's call it 4 minutes, then you come back to where you were. If it's longer, then of course you lost the whole thing. Amen. Amen. And we have mincha today at 7.